and welcome to NTV Chat with me, Devendra Subedi. And today I have with me a PhD scholar in structural engineering, a philosopher, a researcher, a multidisciplinarian, I should say, Mr. Sunil Jayasinghe. Welcome to our show, Mr. Jayasinghe.
Thank you very much for having me, and namaste, Mr. for your invitation here.
Thank you so much for sparing your time out here. It will be an interesting, observation to my viewers as well, because you are a PhD holder in structural engineering, and then you retired in 2007 from engineering, totally retired.
Totally retired, correct.
And now you're searching peace of mind in spirituality, if I'm not wrong.
It is really searching in myself, who I am, and also to understand what exactly all these belief systems are contributing towards our civilization, our people. Because the world is clouded with all kinds of myths, whether it's Lord Buddha, whether it is Jesus, whether it is Mohammed, whether it is Moses, whether it is Zoroastrian. We are all in a confused state. We don't know what is the truth. So I came to a point that I started believing myself, who I am and what I do, and I was successful. And then I raised 4 daughters.
Okay.
After coming to the United States. And
so you're talking about your career, how you left or why you left, let's say, your professional career as a structural engineer.
Actually, in 1996, I went to a conference in London where I got my first degree from the university. And then I met a lady where I actually was at the hotel in at London Hilton. And there she got into a chat with me, and she thought that I'm an interesting person, that I should join her to do some research about an enigmatic character in the Bible by the name of Joseph of Arimathea. Now, Joseph of Arimathea was the person who took down Jesus from the cross. So at the time, I was not interested because I had a business which was going on. I had about 20 people.
Just to stop you there, you're born in Sri Lanka.
I was born in Sri Lanka.
Buddhism has roots in Sri Lanka as well.
Correct.
A lot of people follow Buddhism.
Yes.
There are a lot of Christians as well.
Yes.
By faith, what was your faith by birth?
My faith by birth was Buddhist. I was a Buddhist. My father was a Buddhist. My mother was a Buddhist. My grandfather was a Buddhist. My great-grandfather was a Buddhist. I have retrieved my heritage up to about to the 18th century, 19th century. And my great-great-grandfather were Christians.
So from the Portuguese to the Dutch, I'm talking about Sri Lanka right now before you migrated to the US and Canada later. From Buddhism to there was a let's say a calming period in Buddhism. Lots of people took to Christianity during that period.
I don't say it's a calming period because when the Portuguese arrived in 1505 in Sri Lanka, the Sri Lanka was a Buddhist majority.
Was
a Buddhist majority. But after the Portuguese came, the Portuguese actually made Sri Lanka, the Sri Lankans to be converted to Christianity. Now, when I say the Portuguese made Christianity, it was Roman Catholicism, right? Not the Presbyterian, not the Protestants, right? So, so many took up names which were Portuguese names. They got into the cultural and the traditional ways of valuing the Portuguese manners and ways and things like that. And even my great-great-grandfathers took their names like Pereiras, Fernandos. So my great-great-grandfather was Harry Jayasinghe Pereira.
Okay, we talk about that later on, but this conversation to all our viewers would be very interesting because this gentleman who is sitting in front of me, Mr. Sunil Jayasinghe, is an interdisciplinarian, as I've said, from structural engineering. Now he is into research He has done a lot of research on Buddhism, Kapilvastu, Tilorakot, and so many things he has done. We move on to that side of it now.
Correct.
Mr. Jayasinghe, what brings you to Nepal, in fact? I should be starting from there, I guess.
I think so, yes. This is my 4th visit to Nepal. I came to Nepal first in 1983.
Okay, long time ago.
Long time ago. And I came as a technical diplomat, I was sent by the Canadian International Development Agency, CIDA.
Till then, you have already migrated to Canada.
I first did my studies in England. Then I got a scholarship to United States to do my master's. Then I went to Canada. I got my PhD there. And then after that, actually, I started working for an oil company, and then I was spotted by the Canadian International Development Agency as a person who can talk to people and do some work in Nepal. So they offered me a job as a project engineer, project manager, to come to Nepal and do some work, and I was here for 14 months.
Okay. So you're somewhere there, connection to Nepal started there.
That is there. That is where I got started.
Now, your last engagement, why you are here right now for doing some further research on Buddhism?
I came here last November and December 2017. I came here. When I came here, I had been to Lumbini twice before, and I was wondering the significance of this birthplace of Lord Buddha. And then something struck me. I had gone to Piparawa and Ganavaria in Indian side. And when I went there, what I saw there was nothing which I have studied or which I have read, and which I actually thought this to be the place where Lord Buddha grew up as Siddhartha, prince. So I questioned myself, could this be the place? I have already studied about Piparawa, being there's a stupa where William Pepe in the 18th century found at the time of, after the time of Cunningham, found the relics of Lord Buddha. But I still doubted what the Indian people were claiming, that because the relics were found in Piparawa, that is the place where Lord Buddha grew up, Kapilavastu. And I see all the places, all over the place, Kapilavastu, 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 Buddha place, Buddha born, this, that. I was confused.
That put you in confusion. You really set out to work now.
2017, that was last year. So then I came to Lumbini. So I went to the Mahabodhi Society, and I met a Buddhist monk by the name of Baddhagama Nandahimi from Sri Lanka. I asked him the same question. According to what I had read in the Buddha Vansha,
Okay, what your research found ultimately? What your research found?
My research found out ultimately is that there is no ultimatum to start with.
Okay. I'm extremely sorry to tell you the ultimate thing, but what your research found out about the real Kapilavastu?
The real Kapilavastu, the border of Nepal, between Nepal and India, is not correct.
Okay.
It's not correct. It has been drawn by the British in 1948 or 47, right?
Right now you are making a big claim.
It is, that's okay. I'm putting my neck out. I know it. Okay. Okay. And I know my evidence is very strong.
Okay.
Okay. The real Kapilavastu, or where Lord Buddha grew up for 29 years, is not in Piparawa or nor in Ganavaria in India. I challenge any Indian scholar, especially Srivastava, who actually put the Kapilavastu in the map, on the map of India, to come and talk to me. I bet he will lose, because Kapilavastu is in Tilarakut, the palace is in Tilarakut. No question about it. I have the evidence, I can prove it.
Okay. Well, you have penned a lot of books about Buddhism and Christianity. Well, among the books that you have written, which one is the dearest to you? Is it, if I say the last meal of Buddha?
The last meal of the Buddha is the most dearest to me, because it has given me
Lot of.
good karma.
All right. The issue itself is a bit controversial, isn't it? The
It is.
last meal of Buddha, because lots of people still believe or are confused what exactly did Buddha had in his last meal. Some people say it was pork. Some say no.
Some
What does your
people
book
say it is a poisonous mushroom.
mushroom?
Yes, yeah.
What does your book say?
The questioning of your demeanor, or the way you question me, I know the answers is that you also doubt the very
Many people doubt it,
that,
Mr.
yes,
Jaisingh.
yeah. The thing is, one has to realize, do the research. You see, let me start with this.
Okay.
In the Parinibbana Sutra, Lord Buddha says 3 times to Venerable Ananda and to his followers, the monks, Itotinang masanang achayena tathagato parinibbasati. That is Pali. Itotinang masanang means 3 months from here onwards, or after I passing away, I will pass away from this earth. So, the day he passed away, whether he ate pork or whether he drank a glass of water or he did not eat nothing, he would have passed away.
So that was the destiny.
That was, he predicted that he was going to pass. He decided to pass away. But on top of that, it was not pork. It was truffles, which was actually excavated or uprooted from the ground by his devotee to give him for his stomach ailment he had. So it is still in some places in Nepal or even in India. When I went to Sravasti, Sarnath and all these places, they say for this kind of truffle, the black and the white truffles, Sukramadi, because it is the this hatu or the truffles or the mushroom is being dug by the hog or the pig.
Yeah.
And pig means in Pali or in Sanskrit is sukara. Sukramadi means the one who digs.
That's how the rumors about it was pork spread on.
Exactly.
So how strong do you think evidence you have during your research that was not pork?
I have evidence which when I have analyzed the mushrooms,
Okay.
the first and the most strong evidence I have is the one which Lord Buddha himself in his own words said, which I just told you, right? The second evidence is that this kind of truffles are found by the hogs or the pigs, not only in India or in Nepal, but also in France, in Italy, and in Spain.
Okay.
Right? And they call it hog mushroom, and some call it truffles. And last November when I came and I was discussing this with some other learned bhikkhus, they said, sir, we call some other villages, they call it Sukramadi. And it confirmed what I was saying. So the evidence is my videotaping and my photographs which I have taken, the hogs digging this mushroom, and also analyzing the text, the Buddhist text. You know the Buddhist text, right?
Yeah.
Like the Parinibbana Sutra, and also the other texts.
Other text of
yes.
Well, Mr. Jaisingh, then you are very sure that this was not pork, and you are trying to spread this message all across the world. You are making different presentations in different big workshops and seminars. And what sort of response do you find from the public who had that confusion earlier, like me? What was the last meal of Buddha?
Well, I'll tell you something.
Do you get some resistance from them?
No. The thing is, if you go into the internet and just put my name there, or Google my name, you will find that the book has been recommended by the topmost scholars. And there were 28 or 30 websites which before my finding said that Lord Buddha passed away after eating pork.
Yeah.
But now...
So you busted that myth?
Busted the myth.
All right.
One more thing I will tell you.
Okay.
There was a professor by the name of Dr. Vilegoda, who's a Buddhist monk from the Ruhuna University. He had a debate with me about this. He was more or less convinced that it was spoke. Now, being a Buddhist monk, he was convinced. Yeah. So he had a debate with me for about 2 days here in Los Angeles, and ultimately he said, "Sir, I'm very sorry. You're correct."
Well then, Mr. Jaisingh, you at least busted the myth from the who's who of Buddhism.
Exactly. And
That's well done.
I'm very satisfied. If I had been a structural engineer earning a lot of good money in US, I would have not got that satisfaction. Now the day I actually leave this world, I'll be more satisfied that I have erased the bad name of Lord Buddha for eating pork. He never ate pork.
All right. I take your words, Mr. Jaisingh. You have done a lot of research. And now the other interesting thing in your, let's say, professional career as a researcher you have done is you have written a book called Historical Jesus in 2012. How come a Buddhist researcher, a philosopher, a scholar moves into Christianity now? Is it much to do with the upbringing that you had or the mix-up of religion you have had in Sri Lanka, or what inspired you to go there?
Well, sir, to be honest with Jesus Christ, not my opinion, but to be honest, whatever he preached has a Buddhist influence. His travel to India and to this part of the world,
That's what the myth is.
that is not only a myth. I wanted to research that.
Okay. You traveled to this area for that research as well, right?
Many times.
Afghanistan.
Pakistan, Kashmir.
Yeah.
I stayed there for a while, and I went to...
Did you find any strong backings or evidence that Jesus really traveled this area up to Tibet, the autonomous region of China, during his life?
Not from the people, but from my research. Like, for example, the Kanishka coins, Kanishka, King Kanishka coins. There are certain coins, if you look at it, on one side is Kanishka, on the other side is Buddha. It says Buddha, right? But with a person with a hand with a hole, and the 2 feet with marks of nail marks, and wearing Buddhist robes. Now this is, somebody will say, oh, you don't have enough proof. But that is not where the proof is. That is not where the proof is. The proof is, why did he come to this part of the world after he was taken down from the cross by Joseph of Arimathea, right? Why did he come? Who was Joseph of Arimathea? Who was Joseph of Arimathea? The Christians don't answer. If you ask any Christian, 95% of the people does not know that Joseph of Arimathea took down Jesus from the cross. Joseph of Arimathea is no one else, but that was his own father.
Okay.
I am telling this on national TV because I have the evidence.
But he was born of a virgin mother.
Sorry?
But he was born of a virgin mother.
Virgin mother, that is a myth. That is a myth. No person with 12, every person has 46 chromosomes.
Okay.
Who has bleeding. A person who has no father only will have 23 chromosomes and cannot medically or in any other way can be proven to have life.
That's science science tells this.
Science
All right.
tells science.
Well, Mr. Jaisingh, now religion is opium these days.
Yes.
Do you see there's any meeting point between different religions that you have done research on different religions?
Yes.
Do you see meeting point between different religions? Not animosity, not acrimony, but some meeting point between all these religions. Because the world is pretty much, you see,
is divided
by
the religion, religious faith. I do that. A lot of educated people, like in Hollywood, or among the US educated class, the young people, they are actually shedding all the myths about these beliefs. They wanted to focus on what actually make one think this is the truth. So they are after the truth. They cannot accept something which does not make no sense, right? So most of the religions, you know, Islam, Christianity, and all these religions, there is quite a bit of myth, right? And the people does not want to actually dive into this and see whether these myths are true or not.
Okay.
And thereby what they do is, by doing that, they just absorb and they swim in the ocean of myths without any reason or rhyme.
Can you say that?
Delusion, yes.
Well, Mr. Jayasinghe, you see a meeting point between these religions. Now, taking you back to Buddhism again, basically from Theravada and Mahayana, there's Vajrayana as well, which most of the Nepalese are practicing the Vajrayana cult of Buddhism. Now, my question to you is, Nepal and Sri Lanka share a lot of common things regarding Buddhism because there's a connection as well.
Yes.
But what do you see lacking in terms of, you know, inviting or attracting more Sri Lankan tourists, especially religious tourists in Kapilvastu or Lumbini? Is there anything you can suggest to the government?
Yes, I could suggest to your Prime Minister and to the President that they should concentrate of actually having educational institute at a university level in Lumbini.
Okay.
Because I see a lot of educated class people go to Sri Lanka, become Buddhist monks, get a good education in the Pirivanas, in the universities there, and they come back and they are very erudite people.
Okay.
And rather than focusing on only a few people, I would like to see this kind of education be given to the masses. And to do that, not only in science, it's Buddhist like Nalanda. If you look at, there was astronomy, Buddhist philosophy, like...
so your suggestion is to establish a big university,
in
Lumbini.
At Lumbini at a high class level, not this ordinary teaching English to get a diploma in US or UK, no. I'm talking about something of a caliber
Real
of
class.
Oxford, Cambridge, MIT.
A lot of investment as well.
Yes, investment, big investment. A Buddhist university which will give you the philosophy, the understanding, right? Because I see lot of Nepalis, they believe in Buddha as a god.
Yeah.
That is not correct.
That's the different cult would believe in differently, right?
Yes.
Some believe Buddha as a human, the other cult believes it as a god.
Yeah. So I don't think that is the right way to do it.
Okay.
So if you read and if you actually study and if you get the education in Buddhism, you will be a philosopher, not a person who
follows a religion.
Well,
Mr. Jayasinghe, I'm extremely sorry. This conversation is still just warming up, but I'm running out of time.
Okay.
And I have to say sorry to you. I wish that your research continues and you could carry on doing this research, and your research work contributes to Nepal and spreading the message of Buddhism, love, peace and harmony across the world, and also Nepal benefits by attracting few more tourists in the name of, let's say, Buddhism, religion. Thank you so much for your time. If you have to say anything to all our viewers, finally, anything.
Yes, I would like to say for the masses of Nepal that you are living in a country where the greatest philosophy, even Einstein said, if there is any religion in this world that can cope up with the science of the future, it is Buddhism. And this is the country where Lord Buddha was born. There is no question about it. And I am going to prove, and I have proven, and I am going to talk. I have given 5 lectures in the United States before I came here about it. I was televised in the United States that Lord Buddha spent 29 years in this country, in Tilarakot. And I have got all the coordinates of Gotiava, Nihiligawa, the Devadaha, and all these places where Lord Buddha used to be as a prince. So with that note, I request all the Nepalis to have a great respect to Lord Buddha, not as a god, but as the greatest philosopher.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jaisinghe. Thank you so much for your time and your thoughts. Well, we're talking to Mr. Sunil Jaisinghe, interdisciplinarian who is a PhD scholar in structural engineering, but now is finding his peace of mind and doing research in Buddhism. Thank you so much for your time. Until next time, from all of us here, goodbye and namaste.